Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. If you remember, I say that the United States of America, Al Capone, forgot to negotiate or to use diplomacy because since it remains the only one in the Chicago area, this mobster doesn't need to negotiate, he just uses force. The same with the United States of America in the past, 32 years? Since 1991, the collapse of the Soviet Union. So their diplomacy toolbox, Al Capone's, there are only four tools. One is threats, the other one is blackmail, the other one is regime change, and the other one is direct military intervention. So it goes like this, okay? So we have India and Al Capone. Al Capone is not going, if you remember, Al Capone doesn't go by himself and takes care of stuff. Al Capone had his minions to do it for him. And usually people owed Al Capone services, to pay back. And they will favors. You owe me. Therefore, he's going to do it. In this case, we have United States and we have Canada. Canada owes Al Capone's his existence, if you want. Because if United States will disappear tomorrow, Canada will tone down his bullshit. And I'm talking about those weasels, Macron, what's his name? What's his fucking name, man? I have how is that brain fart? Justin Trudeau. So Justin and Jolie and all those guys will tone it down because they will be caught with their pants down, because that's how they are, with their pants down. But they have Al Capone, therefore they pull their pants up and say, hey, we're tough, right? Al Capone, oh, he's gone. Sorry, how are you today? That's the way I behave. India. Remember, India did not follow the script. They refused. That is to impose sanctions on Russia, to condemn Russian directly to all those things that other vassal states did. India did not. Remember Imran Khan, the former prime minister of I hope I don't get boom for that, of Pakistan. He is now in jail, in prison, like they tried to do the same thing to the 45. Okay? So he is in prison. Why? What happened to this guy? He did not want to follow the script either. He visited Russia in February 2022, last year. And immediately he got a no confidence vote in the parliament and he was removed. He claimed that it was the Americans, Al Capone. We can only guess. And after that, assassination attempts and so on. And then they caught him with something that he said and all that. Again, something like insurrection something. Anyway, that's one. Now India, with Modi and Dr. Jai Shankar, it's a little bit harder. And I claimed many times when these guys tried, they sent Blinken over there. They sent the European Union weasels. They even the Prime Minister of Japan went over there to offer them about $40 billion of investments. The Indians said no, blah 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 blah, no. So then they activated Plan 2, and Plan 2 was this. These guys are going to start pointing out that India doesn't respect and violates human rights. Human rights is a violator of human rights, something ethnic or religious, and then we started finding out that all kind of people start all of a sudden fighting India. Maybe they were before, but these guys did not cover it, did not point out of that. All of a sudden, oy vey, let me break this shit. Indians are bad. Modi is bad. He had a no confidence vote, Modi, as well, but it didn't work with India. So the first one, threats and blackmails, are gone. Now they're trying with a regime change. With the regime change is with that sheikh that was killed by someone in Canada, and the Indians say, whoa, those are terrorist groups. Those want to destabilize India. They want to break India. These guys, no. You did it. We have the information. You did it. Your agents. They want to create a problem. For what? They are in the process of a regime change somehow. And unbelievably, Sputnik agrees with me. Surprise, surprise. You may say, hey, Emil, they told you. No, because I've been saying this for what? A year almost. More than a year. I've been saying this. The Sputnik just woke up now. So like Johnny come lately, or Ivan come lately, or I don't know, Vladimir come lately. So let me show you. Sputnik. This is from 4 hours ago. So it's hot, 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 hot. When you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, you're not. Remember, what's his name? Reed song. What's his first name? Jesus Christ, man. Anyway. So we have here this article from today, the 28th of September, 2023. Jerry Reed. When you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, you're not. Beautiful song. US, Canada seek to destabilize, quote-unquote, India through Khalistan separatist movement. Well, they have a point, because I support my point, obviously, and I support it with what? Evidence, past. It's a pattern. They always do this. When you don't do what these guys are telling you to do, immediately you're going to find out you have some violation. These moralists are going to tell you that's a violation of this or violation of that. But no, they're pure. They're like crystal clear. The Biden administration is fueling the ongoing India-Canada diplomatic crisis as part of a long-standing effort to undermine New Delhi's internal stability. Indian geopolitical analyst Abhijit Chavda told Sputnik's New Rules podcast. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau last week accused the Indian government of having a hand, a sticky hand, or a strong hand. I'm a strong hand. I cook this. In the fatal shooting of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, a chief of Khalistan Tiger Force, KTF, banned in India but provided zero evidence to back up his claim. They claim they provided the Indians. Dr. Jaishankar said today we're waiting for that information to be provided. He said he used another word before, meaningful information or something like this, and they didn't receive the anyway. New Delhi resolutely denied allegations condemning Canada for becoming a home to the members of Khalistan movement designated as terrorists in India. Some Indian hackers hacked the Defense Ministry of Canada a few days ago. I think it was yesterday, actually. Now, I don't know who killed that guy, and I don't like assassinations, obviously. Some people like it. That's why they don't say anything about Daria Dugina when she was blown up, or the other guy in St. Petersburg. Why? Because they were on the wrong side of history of something. So therefore, they decided that that's their fate. And the journalists here did not raise hell about it. No. So that tells you how honest and fair these guys are, and free. Now, this guy who's talking here, not me, believes that okay, I'll do it. Abhijit Chavda believes that Canada knowingly provides shelter to the Khalistan separatists who are running a secessionist campaign against India from abroad and motivating Punjab Sikhs to join military ranks. Why would Ottawa do this? Why did Canada do this? Question mark. I mean, see, essentially Canada is one of the components of the American empire. He told Sputnik, and I'm quoting again, the US, because of the Cold War, which happened in the 20th century, has had this history of being very strongly anti-India, and they also have this long-term view of India as India being the next potential China. Well, the problem with India is this. When the Free West was arming Pakistan, which was a military dictatorship, India was given help only by one country mainly, and that was Soviet Union. So the Indians do not forget that. All right, but these guys would like the Indians to forget that. So the free countries, the democratic countries were pumping money, intelligence, and training to Pakistan at that time, a dictatorship, military dictatorship, no democracy, without instead of helping India. And India was helped by whom? By the dictatorship, by the tyrants in Moscow, in the Soviet Union. So that maybe understands what's going on here. And the Indians say it as well. Jaishankar said it smacking this guy's reporter. I covered that a while ago. Beautiful. They don't want another big rival, another big competitor rising up in the next 20 years. So they would like to keep India under control. Correct too. They would like to keep India off-balanced, destabilized. So that's why he said, believe the Americans were okay with certain kinds of terrorist being shelters on the territory of the closest allies. And that's why you have a significant anti-India Khalistan presence in the UK. There is a smaller presence in Australia as well. There are these fake referenda, that happen in Australia and some of it in New Zealand as well. But, like I said, the largest presence was in Canada. The Canadians also had that, if you remember, the 98-year-old guy who fought for the, Galicia SS Waffen in the Second World War and so on. Anyway, it says the Khalistan movement declared Punjab an Indian state bordering Pakistan a Sikh homeland in 1930 and has since then waged an insurgent movement against Delhi. In the 1970s and 1980s, armed Khalistan insurgents received weapons and training from Pakistan. 1970s and 80s. It was not a democracy there. Akin to Afghanistan's Mujahideen and enjoyed Western backers. Boris Becker or Johnson, Boris Becker and Johnson, Boris Johnson. The secessionist movement was used by the US and its NATO allies, there is no such a thing, to balkanize India, which was at the time a Soviet Union ally, according to Shavda. In the 1980s, when the Indian government started cracking down on Khalistan, many of its members found refuge mostly in 5 Anglophone countries, the US, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. Sputnik's interlocutor explained, and I'm quoting, so the Canadians took in lots of these Khalistan members. Essentially, the Canadians gave shelter to terrorists and criminals who had wanted in India, and India gave Canada lots of evidence that these people are wanted in India, said Chavda. They have committed crimes in India, is quoting this person, but the Canadian government always, turned a blind eye to what happened in 1982. Prime Minister Indira Gandhi visited Canada and she spoke to then Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau, the father of this idiot, the father of Justin Trudeau, and she requested the Canadian government to hand over some terrorists, and she presented the evidence as to why we warned them. But Trudeau refused to do that. Okay, here she is. All right, no problem with that one. What Canada it says? Canada turns blind eye to criminal history of Khalistan and Nazis alike, it seems like. Now, my friends, obviously this comes from a Russian media outlet, and they are backing the Indians because the Indians are not imposing sanctions. They sell their oil on the market. So yeah, it's understandable. The other thing is, let's go to the other ones. Why the Al Capone wants to get involved in India? I think that's clear. Make them stop Russian sales of oil in that area, and not only. So it's an economic fight. Now, moreover, then India could become, a new China or a second China. It's well, I know my Indian friends would not like that analogy, but anyway, they use it. I thought I should use it too. Sorry. India will become India and stay India. Yes. Now push that like button. Anyway, so here it is, my friends. Yes, they are in the process of trying to destabilize India and a little regime change, which I think it's ongoing. We'll see how long and how united India really is. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.